up as a kid. All a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from
Cast. I'm going to stay on the New England Patriots. I want to talk about a guy who could be the New England Patriots' secret weapon going into this season, who a lot of people aren't really talking about. Now, the New England Patriots have had a lot of players opt out, a lot of veteran and a lot of experienced players who chose not to play due to the ongoing pandemic. So that means that a lot of young guys are going to have to step up. And one of those young guys who I think could step up and have a big impact on the Patriots season is undrafted rookie wide receiver Jeff Thomas. I believe that Jeff Thomas could be the Patriots' secret weapon this year. Now, for a lot of you guys who don't know who Jeff Thomas is, Jeff Thomas was an undrafted free agent out of the University of Miami. Now, in his 3 seasons at Miami, he had 1,316 receiving yards, 83 receptions, 8 touchdowns, and averaged 15.9 yards per catch. Now, you may look at those stats and be like, oh, JT, that's not that impressive. Well, Jeff Thomas is a guy who was held back by a lot of things at Miami. One, he was kind of held back by a poor quarterback play. He never really had a even average quarterback throwing him the ball at Miami. And plus, the play calling wasn't great. The guys who were the offensive coordinators or calling the plays for the University of Miami the last couple of years during Jeff Thomas' tenure there weren't all that great at play calling. The play calling was terrible. And 3, Jeff Thomas had a lot of off-the-field issues. He had clashes with the coaching staff. It was just a lot of things. And Jeff Thomas in 2019 was supposed to transfer to the University of Illinois. But Mark Richt, who at the time was the head coach from Miami, he ended up retiring. And then Manny Diaz, who was the defensive coordinator, ended up stepping in and becoming the new head coach of Miami going into 2019. And he asked Jeff Thomas to stay and play for the Hurricanes instead of transferring out. So Jeff Thomas stayed, and basically the same thing happened. He still was doing a lot of things off the field, and basically that's why he went undrafted. Now, Jeff Thomas has a skill set of basically a round 2, round 3 wide receiver. He's your typical slot receiver that the Patriots and Bill Belichick love to bring in. He's like 5'10", 175 pounds. But he's a guy who can not only play slot receiver, but he can also play outside receiver as well, because this isn't your typical undrafted free agent that just has, a lot of things that he has to work on, route running, getting off the line and things like that. No, Jeff Thomas is actually good enough to not only make the New England Patriots roster, which I believe that he has a really good chance of doing, but he also has a really good chance of contributing this year and having a significant role in this Patriots offense. He's really good getting off the line. Like, Jeff Thomas beating the press and getting off the jam and releasing isn't a problem. That shouldn't be anybody's concern. Like, this guy is really good getting off the line. He runs pretty good routes, and he has really good hands as well. The only thing it is when it comes to Jeff Thomas is character concerns. But we've seen Bill Belichick work with guys who had kind of the troublemaker label and turn those guys into really good players, such as Randy Moss. And I believe that Jeff Thomas playing for Bill Belichick and playing for this New England Patriots organization is the best thing that could happen to him. And I think that Jeff Thomas not only is going to make the New England Patriots roster, but I think he's going to have a good chance of having some significant playing time for the New England Patriots this year. Not only as a wide receiver, but also he has a lot of returner ability as well. He can return kickoffs. He can return punts as well. He's really shifty. He's really agile. He's really hard to bring down in the open field. He's a playmaker. And when you look at the fact that Marquise Lee decided to opt out, I think that's one less wide receiver that Jeff Thomas is going to have in his way of potentially having an impact in this Patriots offense. And I mean, Jeff Thomas can do more than just be a slot receiver. Like, he's also a really good outside receiver as well. He could be a really elite deep threat in the NFL. He also has potential that he could end up potentially being a similar version of Wes Welker. I see a lot of Wes Welker in Jeff Thomas. So, I mean, Jeff Thomas is a player that a lot of Patriots fans have not been talking about. Jeff Thomas isn't your typical undrafted free agent that is really raw, has a lot of things to work on. Basically, the only reason Jeff Thomas went undrafted was because of what I said earlier, character issues. But if Jeff Thomas can go to New England and get coached and not have any problems off the field, not only is he going to have a big impact for the New England Patriots this season, but I think he could end up being a really good player for the New England Patriots the next 5-6 years down the road. So New England, they got a really big steal when they were able to sign undrafted free agent Jeff Thomas. And a lot of people got to remember this. When you're an undrafted free agent, you get to choose where you want to play. Whoever offers you an opportunity to come play, you get to choose your landing spot. You get to choose what organization you want to try to make the team with. So I'm pretty sure Jeff Thomas had a lot of other teams that were offering him to come play for them as an undrafted free agent. But I'm pretty sure he chose to go to New England. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure Jeff Thomas wouldn't have chose to go to New England if he didn't know the expectations that are set there when you go to play for Bill Belichick and Foxborough. So, I think that Jeff Thomas is going to be a stud for the New England Patriots. And the New England Patriots, ever since Bill Belichick has become the head coach of that Patriots front office or the Patriots organization, they have had undrafted free agent make their roster for the last several seasons. So, I mean, I think Jeff Thomas is going to be the next undrafted free agent that makes the New England Patriots roster and ends up being another success story and another steal for the New England Patriots. Great route runner, has pretty good hands. He runs a sub 4.4, so he has good speed. He has enough speed to be an elite deep threat in the NFL. And he's a great route runner and doesn't struggle getting off the line at all. He has a really good release, which is something that you rarely see out of a guy who goes undrafted. So the only thing to worry about with Jeff Thomas is character concerns. But if he doesn't have any problems off and on the field with the New England Patriots, this guy's going to be a stud for the New England Patriots. So this is it for episode 7 of the JT Sports Podcast. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure that you guys go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys are watching this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, wherever you watch your podcast, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to the podcast, leave a 5-star review, and thanks for listening, and take care.